There's a country in Europe where 750,000 concrete bunkers dot the landscape like mushrooms after rain. Where women once became men to save their families. Where communism built a prison and called it paradise. For 4 decades, this nation was invisible, forbidden, sealed from the world. Today, it's waking up. But the question remains, what is Albania? Albania, 3 million people, 28,000 square kilometers. Smaller than Belgium, younger than your parents. Wedged between the Balkans and the Mediterranean. This country sits at a crossroads that has defined and destroyed empires. The Romans conquered it. The Byzantines fought over it. The Ottomans ruled it for 5 centuries. Mussolini invaded it. Stalin's communism strangled it. Yet somehow, Albania endured. Today, Albania stands at another crossroads, between its isolated past and uncertain future, between tradition and transformation, between being Europe's best-kept secret and its next major discovery. This is the story of a country most people can't find on a map. A land where ancient codes of honor clash with Instagram culture. Where 3,000 years of history hide behind concrete and coastline. This is Albania. And you've never seen anything like it. To understand Albania, you must first understand its landscape. Because here, geography isn't just scenery, it's destiny. 70% mountains. 427 kilometers of coastline. Rivers that carved through limestone like ancient highways. Valleys so isolated they developed their own dialects. Let's start with the coast. The Albanian Riviera. A name most tourists have never heard. Look at this water, this sand, these hidden coves. In Croatia, this would be overrun with tourists paying premium prices. In Greece, you'd fight for a spot on the beach. Here, you might have it entirely to yourself. The Ionian Sea meets Albania with the same turquoise intensity it brings to Italy and Greece. But without the crowds, without the cruise ships, without the all-inclusive resorts. Not yet, anyway. Drive the coastal road from Saranda to Vlora, and you'll wind through mountains that plunge directly into the sea. The Llogara Pass rises over 1,000 meters high, where eagles circle and the Mediterranean spreads out below like a promise. But drive inland just 30 kilometers from the coast, and you'll enter a different world entirely. The Albanian Alps, Gjeshkat I Namuna in the local tongue. The English translation is less poetic but more honest, the accursed mountains. (2,600 meters at their highest, peaks so sharp they tear the clouds. Valleys so deep that winter sunlight only reaches them for 3 hours each day. This is where the old Albania survives. In villages accessible only by foot or four-wheel drive. In stone towers built for blood feuds that lasted generations. In the memory of shepherds who still speak of times when these mountains were the edge of the known world. Faith, Valbona, Vermash. Names that mean nothing to most travelers. Everything to those who live here. These villages were kingdoms unto themselves. Cut off by snow 7 months of the year. Ruled not by kings or presidents but by the canon, an ancient code of laws older than any government. The canon governed everything: how to treat guests, how to conduct business, how to avenge honor, how to survive when survival was never guaranteed. These stone towers, called kulla in Albania, were fortresses and homes, built with walls over a meter thick, windows like arrow slits, places to retreat when blood feuds turned deadly. Most travelers planning a Mediterranean beach vacation think of Greece, Croatia, or the Italian coast. They book months in advance, pay premium prices, and arrive to find beaches packed shoulder to shoulder. But what if I told you there's a coastline just as beautiful, maybe more beautiful, where you can still find empty beaches in peak season? Where a seafood dinner costs €15 instead of 50. Where the locals are genuinely excited to see you because mass tourism hasn't jaded them. Welcome to the Albanian Riviera, 400 kilometers of Ionian coastline that somehow escaped the European tourism boom. Start in Saranda, the unofficial capital of the Albanian South. It's not the prettiest town. Communist-era apartment blocks dominate the waterfront, but it's your gateway to paradise. And here's the thing about Saranda, it's real. You'll find locals fishing off the promenade at dawn, elderly men playing dominoes in seaside cafes, mothers shopping at markets where prices are posted in lek, not calculated for tourist wallets. From Saranda, head south to Ksamil. 3 tiny islands sit just offshore, close enough to swim to, and the water between them is every shade of blue you've ever seen in a paint store plus a few you haven't. The beaches are a mix of sand and pebbles, dotted with small beach bars serving cold beer and fresh grilled fish. In July and August, yes, it gets busy. Albanian families vacation here too. But arrive in June or September, and you might share a beach with a dozen people instead of 1,000. But here's where Albania gets interesting. Drive north from Saranda along the coastal road, and you enter something special. The Llogara Pass rises over 1,000 meters above sea level, a winding mountain road that offers some of the most dramatic coastal views in Europe. Pull over at the viewpoints, and there are many. You'll watch hawks and eagles circling below you while the Ionian Sea stretches to the horizon. At the top, Llogara National Park offers hiking trails, traditional restaurants serving roasted lamb, and if you're brave, paragliding launches that send you soaring over the coastline like those eagles. Descend from Llogara, and you reach a series of beaches that will test your ability to choose. Palace Beach, with its long stretch of pebbles and clear water. Dhërmi Beach, where beach clubs and backpacker hostels coexist peacefully. Dry Maids, quieter and more family-friendly. Jail Beach, known for summer festivals and nightlife. And Himarë, a town that's been here for thousands of years, with a small castle overlooking the bay and restaurants serving seafood caught that morning. Let's talk practically. Accommodation along the coast ranges from €5 dorm beds to €100 boutique hotels, with most quality guest houses costing €30 to €60 per night. Many are family-run. You'll meet the owners, eat breakfast made by hand, get recommendations that aren't just paid advertisements. Fresh seafood everywhere. Albania has archaeological sites that rival anything in Greece or Italy. The difference? You can explore them without fighting through tour groups, without velvet ropes keeping you 30 meters away, and without paying €40 for admission. Take Butrint, a UNESCO World Heritage Site just south of Saranda. Founded in the 8th century BC, occupied by Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and Venetians, Butrint is like walking through a textbook of Mediterranean history. But here's what makes Butrint special. The theater dates to the 3rd century BC and holds 1,500 people. You can sit on those ancient stone seats, look down at the stage, and imagine performances that happened 2,000 years ago. Walk through the baptistry with its incredible floor mosaics still intact, vibrant geometric patterns and animal figures preserved under glass. Explore the Byzantine Basilica. Climb the Venetian castle walls, wander through forest paths where cypress trees shade Roman baths and temples. The entire site sits on a peninsula between a lake and the sea, making it one of the most beautiful archaeological locations anywhere. Admission, about €7. Head north to Apollonia, another ancient city where you can spend hours without seeing more than a handful of other visitors. Founded in the 6th century BC, Apollonia was one of Rome's most important cities in the region. Julius Caesar sent his nephew Octavian here to study. Yes, the future Emperor Augustus went to university in Albania. Today, you can walk among the ruins of temples, theaters, and monuments, with a small museum housed in a Byzantine monastery on site. Or visit Berat, the city of 1,000 windows. This isn't just an archaeological site. It's a living city where people still inhabit Ottoman-era houses clinging to a hillside. The whitewashed buildings with their distinctive windows cascade down the slope like a waterfall frozen in time. Climb up to the castle, and yes, people still live inside the castle walls, their homes tucked between ancient fortifications and Byzantine churches. You'll find small museums, craft shops, and cafes serving Turkish coffee, all inside a fortress that's been continuously inhabited for over 2,000 years. Gyrocaster is Berat's southern cousin, another UNESCO site with a different character. Built from stone rather than whitewash, Gyrocaster clings to its mountainside like a fortress city from a fantasy novel. The old bazaar sells traditional crafts, the houses feature distinctive stone roofs and wooden balconies, and the castle at the top offers panoramic views across the Drino Valley. Forget the coast for a moment. Forget ancient ruins and beaches. Because Albania's greatest secret might be its mountains. The Albanian Alps, locally called Gjeshkati Namuna, the Accursed Mountains, offer some of Europe's most spectacular and least traveled hiking. If you've hiked the Tour du Mont Blanc or the Dolomites and found them crowded, if you're tired of booking mountain refuges months in advance, if you want to experience alpine beauty without the alpine prices, these mountains will change your life. The signature trek is Valbona to Theith, or vice versa, a full-day hike over the Valbona Pass that crosses some of the most dramatic mountain scenery in Europe. Start in Valbona, a valley village accessible by minibus and ferry from the town of Komen. The ferry ride itself is an experience, 3 hours gliding through fjord-like waters between towering cliffs, one of Europe's most beautiful boat trips that costs about €3. From Valbona village, the trail climbs steadily through beech forests, then opens into high alpine meadows where shepherds still graze flocks in summer. The pass sits at about 1,800 meters, not technically difficult, but steep enough to earn those views. At the top, on a clear day, you can see into Kosovo and Montenegro, a meeting point of borders and cultures. Then descend into Theith, a village so remote it feels like entering another century. Theith is special. Stone houses with wooden shingles, a beautiful blue-green river, waterfalls that thunder through narrow canyons, and the Lock-in Tower, a medieval fortified house that served as refuge during blood feuds, now a museum explaining the region's complex honor codes. But more than the sights, Theith offers something rare, genuine mountain hospitality. Stay in a family guest house for €20 to €30 including dinner and breakfast. You'll eat with the family, fresh bread, mountain cheese, grilled meat, raki homemade from plums or grapes. Conversations happen through broken English or Google Translate, but the warmth needs no translation. You can hike from Theith back to Shkodër, the nearest city, in 2 or 3 days depending on your pace and route. Or extend your trek to Vermash, Razum, or Doberdal, smaller villages even deeper in the mountains where you might be the only foreigner visitors have seen in weeks. These aren't luxury treks. Expect basic accommodation, outdoor toilets in some places, cold showers or none at all. But you'll hike trails where the only other traffic is shepherds moving flocks, sleep under stars brighter than you've seen in years, and wake to silence broken only by cowbells and birdsong. The trekking season runs June through September, with July and August being warmest but also busiest. Bring cash. Many mountain villages have no ATMs. Bring good hiking boots. The trails are rocky and steep. Bring layers. Mountain weather changes fast. And bring an open mind because these mountains will humble you, exhaust you, and reward you with experiences you'll remember forever. Tirana doesn't try to be beautiful. After decades of communist uniformity followed by chaotic post-communist development, Albania's capital is messy, loud, and completely unpretentious. And that's exactly why you should spend time here. Because Tirana has energy. It has creativity bursting through the cracks of its concrete past. It has some of the best food, wildest nightlife, and most unexpected cultural experiences in the Balkans. Start in Skanderbeg Square, the massive central plaza named after Albania's national hero. It's not pretty, mostly concrete with some fountains and green space, but it's the heart of the city. The National History Museum dominates one side with its huge socialist realist mosaic. The Ethembe Mosque, one of the few religious buildings to survive communism, sits modestly on another corner. And towering over everything, the Skanderbeg statue on horseback, Albania's warrior hero who resisted Ottoman invasion for 25 years. But forget the official landmarks for a moment. Tirana's real charm is in its neighborhoods. Bloku, once the exclusive enclave for Communist Party elite, is now the city's hipster heartland. Boutique cafes serve excellent espresso and natural wine. Restaurants offer everything from traditional Albanian food to Japanese fusion. Bars range from dive spots playing Albanian hip-hop to cocktail lounges that wouldn't be out of place in Berlin or London. And everywhere, young Albanians, stylish, multilingual, ambitious, building careers in tech, art, fashion, and media. Don't miss the House of Leaves, Albania's surveillance museum in the former secret police headquarters. It's not comfortable. You'll see the listening devices, the interrogation rooms, the methods used to monitor citizens. But it's essential for understanding what this country emerged from and why today's freedom means so much. Admission is cheap, the explanations are detailed, and the experience will stay with you. For contrast, take the cable car up to Mount Dajdi, the mountain overlooking Tirana. The ride costs about €5 and delivers you to a national park with hiking trails, restaurants, and stunning views over the entire city sprawled below. It's where Tirana residents escape weekend crowds, where couples come for sunset dinners, where you can breathe mountain air and see just how dramatically Albania's landscape changes within 30 minutes. Here's what most guidebooks won't tell you. Albania's best experiences aren't in the main destinations. They're in the gaps between them, in the detours, in the villages you stumble into by accident. So let's talk about the Albania that only reveals itself when you slow down and pay attention. Take Siri Ikalter, the Blue Eye, a natural spring near Saranda where water bubbles up from underground at 50 meters deep. The pool is a surreal electric blue, so clear you can see the underwater formations, so cold it takes your breath away. Tourists stop for photos and leave. Follow the path through the forest alongside the crystal clear stream flowing from the spring. Pack a picnic, find a swimming hole away from the main pool. This is when Albania rewards you, when you give it time. Or drive to Prmet, a small town famous for thermal baths and wine. The Benji thermal baths sit in a canyon where an Ottoman-era stone bridge arches over the river. For €3, you can soak in natural hot springs while a cold river rushes past and canyon walls rise on either sides. Locals come here to treat joint pain and skin conditions. You'll come for the sheer surreal pleasure of floating in hot water surrounded by nature while other tourists are fighting for beach chairs on the coast. Albania has 3 major lakes, and each offers a completely different experience. Start with Lake Shkodër, the largest lake in the Balkans, shared between Albania and Montenegro. From Shkodër city, it's a short drive to Shiroka, a small village where fishermen still use traditional methods unchanged for centuries. Rent a kayak or small boat for €10 and paddle through water channels lined with lily pads, past tiny islands, into wetlands where pelicans and herons nest. Further south, Lake Ohrid straddles the border with North Macedonia. The Albanian side is quieter, less developed than the Macedonian shore, which means better prices and fewer crowds. The town of Pogradec sits on the lakefront with a pleasant promenade, affordable hotels, and beaches that get busy with Albanian vacationers in summer but never overwhelmed. The lake is ancient, over 1 million years old, and so deep it has its own unique ecosystem with fish species found nowhere else on Earth. Drive the road around Lake Ohrid's Albanian shore and you'll find the village of Lin, with its beautiful mosaic church and pebble beaches. Stop at roadside restaurants for grilled trout caught that morning. The water here is so clear you can see 10 meters down, so clean it's drinkable straight from the lake. Locals will tell you this with pride, though perhaps don't test it yourself. And then there's the pre-spa lakes, small pre-spa and large pre-spa, sitting high in the mountains where Albania meets Greece and North Macedonia. This is remote Albania, where tourism barely exists, where you might drive an hour seeing more sheep than people. The Albanian villages around Pre-Spa are agricultural communities where life moves slowly and visitors are genuine novelties. Hike to mountain viewpoints overlooking all three countries. Visit tiny Byzantine churches hidden in the landscape. Or simply sit by the water and enjoy the silence, a commodity increasingly rare in modern Europe. Timing matters in Albania. Visit the wrong place at the wrong time and you'll miss the magic. Visit strategically and you'll experience Albania at its absolute best. Let's break it down season by season, region by region. June and September are golden months. The coast is warm enough for swimming, water temperatures reach 20 to 25 degrees, but crowds are manageable. Hotels are available without booking months ahead. Prices are reasonable. The mountains are accessible, snow has melted from high passes, and wildflowers carpet alpine meadows. Cities like Tirana and Berat are pleasant before summer heat intensifies. These shoulder season months offer the best balance of weather, prices, and experience. July and August mean beach season. The Albanian Riviera fills with Albanian families on holiday plus increasing numbers of international tourists. Water is warmest, nightlife is liveliest, everything is open and operating. But beaches get crowded by Albanian standards, still nothing compared to Croatia or Greece, and temperatures regularly hit 35 degrees Celsius. Mountain villages welcome visitors escaping coastal heat. So what is Albania, really? It's a coastline that rivals anywhere in the Mediterranean. Mountains that challenge your limits and reward your effort. Cities finding their voice after decades of silence. Food that deserves international recognition. History layered so thick you walk through millennia in a single afternoon. And people, warm, proud, generous people, who survived isolation and emerged eager to share their country with anyone willing to look beyond stereotypes. But more than any specific place or experience, Albania is possibility. The possibility of discovering somewhere before everyone else does. The possibility of authentic travel in an increasingly commodified world. The possibility of adventure without a predetermined Instagram narrative. The possibility of being surprised, challenged, delighted, and changed by a place that refuses to fit neat categories. Albania isn't perfect. Infrastructure is developing. English isn't universal. Things don't always go smoothly. But perfection is boring. Albania's rough edges are part of its appeal. The improvisation required, the communication challenges overcome, the unexpected moments that arise when tourism hasn't yet been scripted, these become the stories you tell for years. Albania is waiting. 3 million people ready to welcome you. 28,000 square kilometers ready to surprise you. 750,000 bunkers scattered across a landscape testifying to isolation overcome. Beaches where you can still find solitude. Mountains where trails lead to villages time nearly forgot. Cities where Ottoman heritage meets communist history meets vibrant contemporary culture. This is Albania, Europe's last secret, but not for much longer. The question isn't what Albania is anymore. The question is, when will you discover it for yourself?